up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. 30 lives. I'm here to tell you about the greatest day of my childhood. But I should warn you, before I do, some context. The greatest day of my childhood came after the worst few weeks of my life. Right after my 7th birthday, a kitchen fire ripped through our house, leaving my mom to scramble to find us a new place to live, while her husband, my father, lay in the hospital, dying from the disease that had ravished his body for years before. Soon thereafter, as we were moving into a new place, he passed away. He was 47. I was 7. But that's not what I came here to talk to you about tonight. I came to tell you about the best day of my childhood. Because right after that, my brother and I were coming home from school one day, and we saw right in front of our front door a giant cardboard box. Now, for a 7-year-old, even an ordinary giant cardboard box is a pretty exciting thing. But let's be clear, this was no ordinary giant cardboard box. This giant cardboard box was full of the greatest toys the 3 little boys could ever want. It was full of the Sing'em, Fling'em WWF wrestling ring. It was full of the Commando pack from G.I. Joe, and it was full of a pair of giant red and blue foam batons so we could beat each other up just like they do on American Gladiators. See, the family friend who worked at the toy company in New York, who snuck onto the showroom floor after their final show and packed away all of the toys that 3 kids in LA would just love, wasn't just sending us the world's coolest toys, though they were amazing. She was giving us something we needed, which was permission to play. And that's why it was the greatest day of my life, of my childhood, because that was the day where I realized that even in the worst of times, especially in the worst of times, we all have permission to play. You know, this is a lesson we took when I went to college. Some friends and I got together, and we started a free sleepaway summer camp for the children of cancer patients at the local hospital. We had T-shirts, and we wrote our slogan right across the front, "'Cause it's fun." We didn't have any group therapy, no reflective meditation, but we did have lots of cheers and chasing frogs and shooting archery and a lot of playing. I remember on the bus ride home on the very last day, sitting next to a 7-year-old boy named Rocky. That's him, a long time ago. And Rocky looked up at me and thanked me for the best 2 weeks of his life. And he said that it was the first time in a long time they'd been allowed just to play, just to be a kid. It was the first time in a long time that people had finally just given him permission to just be himself and just play. And that's why this next year, that same summer camp, not from my work, but certainly from the work of many like me, will be on over 50 college campuses around the country, because there's an undeniable truth, an undeniable power to play. But let's be clear, play is not just for kids. Scientists agree. Studies have been done. This is Ignite. There is research. Play is good. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania did studies on the long-term effects to confidence and to resiliency among people who play and people who don't. Those who do are less likely to have long-term depression and anxiety because they're playing. A research study out of Cornell studied the neural pathways that are fired when we play and found that doing so increases retention, attention, and decreases the long-term risk of ADHD in both children and adults. And a long-term study out of Essex, England demonstrated that people who play and who go and have fun regularly are more valuable to their communities, are better at building communities like this one. So Ignite, next time you're feeling blue. Next time some amazing triathlete takes over your epic path on Strava and kicks your butt. Next time your investors are cramming you down, or your product won't ship, or your spouse is messing with you, don't scream, don't cry. Just get out of your chair, go grab a friend, and go play. Seriously, you have permission.